Let me add these remarks about LAMP site, Dr. Johnson. I made remarks on his site about some studies. These were chicken studies. They used lenses on chicks, and the refractive state of the eye changed with the applied lenses, plus or minus. And they're trying to, I guess, explain what they're doing, basically. But the reality is that the eye, all eyes from birth, follow the accommodation signal. Now that's engineering, scientific. And then you encounter a biggest myth of all, that the public actually wants prevention. Or worse, wants prevention from an optometrist who has the expertise to understand prevention and actually help you. That's an illusion. And that is a myth that the public actually could be helped. And so both Dr. Johnson and I get frustrated. I withdraw from that discussion because I know there's no hope, there's no prospect of any success, really. Unless a person's an engineer and will face the facts as I know them. And so Dr. Johnson's forced to argue with optometrists. And the result is they don't argue. They sort of say, well, we're right. And the public really doesn't want prevention from me. So why should I waste my time with them over the whole concept of prevention when I'm 2050? And that's what the situation is about. So I know Dr. Johnson's doing his best, but I always say don't frustrate yourself. Help your own daughter with it, much like Rupa Wong helps her children with it. Just keeping the kid's eyes 20 inches off the page and playing tennis will probably protect their vision for life, provided they do it. But that's not what kids do. They do this. It's a bad habit. I did it, and that's how I became myopic. But no program is educational to get the kids to stop doing that. Rupa tried it. Her fellow medical doctors, they ignore her. They don't have time for it. So, in that sense, I'm not critical of optometrists or ophthalmologists because they can't do anything about it. And they're not going to do anything about it. This was a lesson I learned from Dr. Rafelson, who had a good sense of prevention. And when he tried to help, he got a blank mind from the person. So I can't see prevention being possible except for an educated engineer who makes his own refractive measurements as I'm doing it. But this is complete turning over of the problem to me, so I work on a solution as engineering science, not as medicine or a medical solution. I'm not insulting anybody. I had the same bad habits that Joey Allen had, what he called Game Boy, reading at 4 inches, which is minus 10 diopters in accommodation. You do that to primate eye, and that primate eye won't keep 20/20 for very long. But of course, this is ignored. And I always call it the elephant in the middle of the room, and that's the ignorance of the public, where they only accept the -1 lens. And then they attack any optometrist who attempts to help them. So that's where we are. Nothing has changed for those reasons. So I understand after talking with Rafelson, and I post remarks by Rafelson about this, I didn't give up on science, scientific truth, but I gave up on the public, and I gave up on trying to do anything. Good friend Antonio Medina. A long conversation. He designs control systems. So I'd be always happy to argue about the fundamental eye having refractive states as measured, no defects. And I think he basically got the idea that he helped his own kids, but then you get the yes, pause, but. And what he's talking about is dealing with the ignorance of the public. So, well, yes, Odie, you're right about the fundamental eye at birth. As long as the refractive state is positive, then you're right. But when you're talking about an ignorant person in a room who doesn't know anything, and you talk about prevention, and that's the but. The public will not accept prevention from any optometrist. It's a dead letter. And that's why you have to talk with engineers who previously had 20/20 as they measure it and know how to measure the refractive state accurately, personally, the direct way, the objective way. And then they can decide if they want to be part of a prevention program where the goal is to stay at 20/20, or if reading 20/40, they could be part of a team for prevention, in which case they would be doing what I'm doing. The goal is to get your refractive states changed from negative a half diopter to plus a half diopter, which is where I am now. And I was just very lucky that cataract surgery got me to 20/60, and I could take measurement control. So my deep appreciation is for Lamsight. We both desire a solution, but he's an optometrist. He really can't do anything about it. He's frustrated, as we all are, but can't do anything. It's the yes, but issue. Scientific truth separated from the public and dealing with the public. I will forward this to my immediate relatives. They were like me, tennis player. The only thing I was doing like this was a Lionel train. It's a bad habit that intelligent kids have. Not stupid, but a habit. And you do that for long periods of time, and your refractive changes from plus 20/20 to minus probably 20/50. But if you fix it with a minus lens, the rate at which you go down speeds up. Anybody with a good objective scientific mind is going to understand it that way. Now, I pretty much understood that if you don't stop it when you're 20/50, you'll never stop it. So let's try and tamp down the frustration with this tragic situation. It's got to be the parents who stop it. Know enough to talk about it. When they see their kid doing this, stop it. The way Rupa Wong stops it. However, what she's doing only works with her kids. All other kids, they're doing this. Do I sound frustrated? The answer is yes. But I think the only person who could do it would be a mature adult. Entering a 4-year college, engineering, has to be engineers because the control system. The public does not understand control systems. And practical matter, neither do medical people. So it becomes a matter of scientific mind and education. And here, the person wouldn't have to be part of the program when he's at 20/40. But he must understand the program ends for him if he does not wear a plus lens or measure his own refractive state himself. So that's my deep appreciation for Lamsight, his ideas. They're my ideas too. I'm dealing with the frustration for a very long time, and I try and push it away because I can't deal with it. Add your own commentary, and thank you.